Well, let me begin, first of all, by publicly thanking our senior senator for his endorsement. And for the nearly 70 state representatives and senators who share my vision for the state of Missouri. I know a lot of us turn on the national news, and we do that regularly. There's been a lot of hand-wringing in Washington, D.C., at least from our national leaders. And let's be honest, we lost our way. It wasn't the power of our ideas that caused us to lose control of Congress. It was that we failed to adhere to those principles and core beliefs. And the Democrats' control of Congress has resulted in a precipitous drop in the American public's perception of their government, and a nearly complete standstill in Washington, D.C. So let me speak truth. Truth to power. Our future can be just as bright as we want it to be. And one thing I know for certain is that when you have lost your way, the only course back is your basic core values and principles and belief. And if in Washington, D.C., if we will reclaim the birthright that taxes people less and reduces wasteful government abuse more, at the national level we will once again have success. If Republicans will boldly stand up for values that make our country great, from the sanctity of life to the respect for traditional marriage, which is the cornerstone of our culture, if we will reaffirm that we are a sovereign nation and that requires enforcing the laws on our borders, if we will set our faces like flint and make no apologies for standing shoulder to shoulder for liberty and freedom and prosperity around the globe, if our national party will do those things and do them boldly, then the American people will respond once again with great passion, and we will once again earn their trust. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time to shrink, it's a time to stand tall. It's not a time for hand-wringing, it's a time to rally. It's not a time to cower, it's a time for courage. And thankfully here in our great state, Governor Matt Blunt and our Republican legislators have held true to our core principles and values and beliefs and have set this state on the right path. Now, our friends are in the media that are here, and I know they would like to focus on the disagreements that we have here. To me, there is much more unity here than disagreement. We all want strong jobs, a strong economy that doesn't just provide jobs, but provides careers for our young people. We want a tax system that encourages investment and job growth and enables us to keep more of our hard-earned money. We want our nation's borders to be enforced and immigration laws that are respected. And let's make no mistake here. We all value the sanctity of life. We all believe in traditional marriage. We all believe that the Second Amendment confers upon us an individual right to keep and bear arms. We all believe in the free expression of religion, and that we are, in fact, one nation under God. Perhaps there is one thing that would find disagreement among us. And it might be thus. Which would be more harmful, an Obama presidency or another Clinton presidency? But we can all agree that 4 years of Jay Dixon as our next governor would be devastating for our state. When the Democrats were in power in Jefferson City, and the budget was out of control, do we want to go back? No! Under the previous Democrat administration, nearly 1 out of 5 Missourians was on public assistance. Do we want to go back? No! When the Democrats controlled our state government, we led the country in jobs lost. Do we want to go back? No! During the most recent 12-year reign of Democratic governors, and state government had 2 words for every problem: raise taxes. Do we want to go back? No! In fact, when the Democrats were in control and as they withheld money from our public schools almost every single year, do we want to go back? No! Before our party took over, and public employees, that is employees that you and I who pay their salaries, should they be able to unionize? Do we want to go back? No! And then just a few years ago, abusive lawsuits driving our doctors out of our small towns and inner cities, sending them either to early retirement or chasing them to other states. Do we want to go back? No! Well, there is one man who wants to take us back, ladies and gentlemen, and his name is Jeremiah J. Dixon. Some candidates run their campaigns out of a bus. Jay Dixon is running his campaign out of a time machine. He's trying to put the pages back on the calendar and take us back to a place where special interests are in charge and where power matters more than people. But you and I are not going to let that happen, are we? No! Our next governor must have the ability and the resolve to make tough choices. And sometimes our governor will have to do the right thing over the politically popular thing. And that to me is the very essence, the definition of leadership: doing what is right when no one is looking, or doing what is hard when everyone is looking. Jay Dixon got his training in the politics of Jefferson City. I got mine in courtrooms all across the state of Missouri, in many of the counties from which you came, prosecuting our state's worst criminals. And there I learned that leadership requires unshakable moral clarity, that there's a bright line between right and wrong, that the facts are the facts and the law is the law, and credit for success doesn't just go to individuals. Credit for success should go to principles. And my friends, that is exactly the kind of governor that I want to be. I have hope. I am the product of the Missouri Dream. And I know that there's been some suggestion about those who serve in the halls of Congress, that we should look at them perhaps with a negative eye. I respectfully disagree. I don't see it that way. I don't think John Ashcroft sees it that way. I don't think Roy Blunt, or Joy Nicholson, or Sam Graves, or Todd Aiken, or even Jack Danforth, Kit Bond, or Jim Talent. And I've served with most of them. I'm proud to have served. And to those of you here gathered under this giant numeral 9, I want to tell you that it's been an awesome privilege and responsibility to be your voice and to represent your values. And I thank you for that opportunity. But for the rest of you, I stand here asking you to consider hiring me as your governor. I'm applying for the job, and I hope to win the support of each and every one of you. I would be greatly honored to have the title Daddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is who I am. A kid from the boot heel. I've got a good job. I'm in love with the most beautiful woman in the world. And I have 2 precious daughters. Blessings in abundance. I've lived my whole life in Missouri, and I thank the Almighty, especially for being the only child born to 2 tremendous people. Simple, honest folks from the farm who worked hard, prayed often, and believed in helping your neighbor when they needed a hand. They taught me from a young age that Missouri and her land are blessed by God. And I believe that every single minute of every single day of my life. And I know with the moral strength of our people and with the support of people in this room that the best days of our state are not behind us, they're up ahead.